All right, so this is a cookie lab, and the purpose of this lab is to kind of demonstrate pie, circumference, diameter, area, sectors, area of sectors, and arc lengths, and how the center angle of a circle impacts all those things. Okay, so here we go. So we start with a almost circular cookie, right? And we're gonna take a notch, maybe kind of like try to mold it a little bit. These are, soft cookies, so they're kind of malleable, right? And we're gonna take that cookie and we're gonna put a little notch in that cookie so that when we rotate it 360 degrees, we can identify when it has completed its full cycle. Okay, so then we're going to take that notch, right, and we're going to place it at, I don't know if you can see it yet, we're going to place it, I'm going to make the notch a little more distinguished. Okay, there's our notch. Okay, there's our notch, a little more defined. All right, we're going to take that notch and we're going to place it here at the 0 mark. We're going to stand up our cookie, okay, and I'm going to gently roll the cookie here. Oh, it slipped on me. I'll try that again. I'm going to gently roll the cookie. Rolled on me again when I got to this. Let me get rid of this chip. All right, do it one more time. Where's that? Where's my notch? There it is. Okay, so I'm going to gently roll this cookie here. Here we go. Gently roll this cookie until the notch goes all the way back around. And I'm going to lie it down. And you can see that here is where it comes to rest at about 17.6 centimeters. Okay, I'm going to take my cookie and I'm going to place it up against my finger here, resting at the 1 centimeter mark. I'm going to rotate it around till I find a good estimate of an average diameter. Right, so I'm like at, varies from like 5, it goes all the way up to 5, it's like 5.6, all the way down to 5.4, all the way down to 5.3, all the way down to 5, right, so I'm going to say it's about, my diameter here, it's about 5.4. It's about 5.4 centimeters. Okay, roughly. All right. Right now, I know that pi is the ratio of the circumference to the diameter. Right, so it's going to be equal to, if I had good measurements. Now they're going to be, it's not going to be perfect, right? I have a quasi-circular cookie, right? And this ruler isn't perfect, and the way I measured wasn't perfect, so it's going to be, so if I get anywhere between, when I measure my circumference divided by my diameter, and I take this measurement, if I get anywhere between 3.1 and 3.2, I'm pretty happy. So I'm going to grab my calculator over here, and the function of this was to show, hey, if I get my diameter, or my circumference to my diameter should be roughly pi, so 17.6 divided by 5.4, it's like 3.25, okay, is 3.25, so it's a little bit high, right? But it's a cookie, right? It's not perfectly round, right? So if you get anywhere between 3.1 or 3.2, you did a pretty good job. You got a pretty round cookie. So mine's a little bit high, right? So I'm going to take my radius. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the area of the cookie, and I'm going to take my radius that I kind of guessed on. Maybe I guessed a little low. Let's see what happens if I move this to 5.5 centimeters. If I put like 17.6 divided by 5.5, that's like 3.2. Okay, if I want 17.6 divided by 5.6, that's like exactly 3.14. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put that as like 3.6. I'm gonna say that this was a 5.6 centimeters. So 17.6 divided by 5.6. Yeah, let's just say that was 5.6. Okay, 5.6. No, it's 3.14. How close was that? Oh man, that would have been really close. That would have been my first measurements. Anyway, so now let's see if that was my measurement. If I divide that by 2, that's my diameter. 5.6 divided by 2, it would be 2.8. So my radius would be 2.8 centimeters. All right, so let's see if I go down here and write the circumference circle. I neglected to put that on here. So my circumference equals 2 pi r, or my diameter times pi. All right, so either one of that is going to be, 5.6 times pi equals, my circumference would be like 17.6 centimeters. Hey, look at that. It's pretty close there. Okay, if I had picked 5.6. And my area would be 2.8 squared times pi. So my area would be 24.6 centimeters squared. Okay, so that is all kind of like review to get us warmed up for this part. All right, now say for instance I have let's skip down to this one, CVE. All right, I have CVE. All right, this is let's do AVD first. AVD. Okay, I have angle AVD here. Okay, and I take my angle start. My angle start is 180. Okay, and my angle end is 0. AVD. Angle start is 180. Angle end is 0 degrees. My absolute value of angle 2 minus angle 3 is 180 degrees. All right, so I'm going to take my value from column 4, which is 180, divided by 360 degrees. If it's not completely obvious to you, I'll show you how to do it on the calculator. 180 3/60ths, right? And that's going to give me a fraction of 1/2. 1/2. Let's do that on the cookie, right? So angle A to angle D, line it up, angle A to angle D, and gently kind of rock it back and forth, pushing a little bit against it, and we'll have it cut roughly in half. Okay, so if I have it roughly cut in half, let's figure out what the arc length would be. Okay, so the arc length would be 1/2 of 17.6 centimeters. I'm going to not put my units just because of space. So 0.5 times 17.6 equals 8.8. 8.8, and that's centimeters. So let's take this up here and see if this from here to here is 8.8. It's about 8. I think I grabbed the skinny half. Let me grab the fat half and see what happens. I didn't cut it exactly in the middle. So that's about 8.5. Okay. It's not rocket science, not real precise, but it's pretty close. Okay, and the area will be 1/2 of 24.6. Right, so that'd be 1/2. It's like 12.3. Okay, so go ahead and try the rest of these. Right, so if I'm gonna try CVE, let's see. I'm gonna take this, put it right on there, cut it at C to V. That is a radius, and then V to E, another radius. Make my angle that, something like that. So these are different sectors of my cookie. Okay, and then you should be able to calculate all of these things with the starting angle and the ending angle, right? And then fill out the rest of the table with these things. Okay, so get your own cookie, figure out all this stuff, and then you should be able, when you're calculating these values, use the real value of pi and not what you calculated pi for. Okay, this was 3.14 after I changed my numbers around. Okay, so I hope you find this useful, and for those of you who need to make up the assignment.